First time in its history, the state of Wisconsin could soon be home to a national park. This newly proposed legislation from U.S. Congressman Tom Tiffany had its first hearing in the nation's capital today. The bill would redesignate the Apostle Islands from a national lakeshore to a national park. The Republican calls the islands area one of Wisconsin's crown jewels, saying the move has been in progress for nearly a year now. He believes it would boost tourism there. However, some locals are concerned it would overwhelm the area. Tiffany assures he has spoken with numerous stakeholders about those potential concerns.
I don't think that this is going to overwhelm what will hopefully now be a national park, and I think it's actually going to add to the experience. There's good, infrastructure there, and so I think all that'll work out just fine.
According to Tiffany, other regions that have changed from a national lakeshore to a national park have seen more hospitality and tourism. After today's hearing, Tiffany hopes to get a vote before the full Natural Resources Committee and then send that bill on to the House of Representatives.